So let me show you anyway. It's not for everyone. I'm never going to kind of do like a hard sell and be like, everyone should buy this. But I've been so focused on making it, I like talking about it. Right. So keep my comments open. Oh, thank you. So, yeah. We're on a timeline in DaVinci Resolve. I'm talking. I open up my Magic Subs. We've got bordered, double line, highlight. I made a bunch of different presets, like a cartoon one, a Joker one. There's all these different ones. All of these are included in the paid version. And we grab it. We put it on the timeline. So it goes directly on the timeline, not on the actual subtitles track. We open up the inspector. You choose the track that you want. So mine's all on track number 1. You can either turn it into a compound clip or you can not turn it into a compound clip. I'll explain that in a minute, but I'll do compound clip and then we'll transcribe. So it's turned my section into a compound clip. It's transcribed it. And now I've got word for word animated subtitles directly on the timeline. Right? It's cool, right? So you don't have to faff about with the subtitle track quite so much. You just drop this on here. And off you go. So if I delete that, now that this compound clip has been created and transcribed, I can go and get any of the other ones. I was a bit cheeky. This one's called Subhub. We can transcribe that. It doesn't need to do anything because it's already been transcribed. We get another one, Joker. Transcribe. So you can just grab them and shove them on there. So let's go with the cartoon one once again. The compound clip. So this is now a compound clip. So if we uncompound that. If you choose no compound, what it'll essentially do is it'll find this clip within the media pool and then it will transcribe the entire thing. Which, if it's a short clip, that's not too bad, right? Because it's gone and transcribed this clip was called 32-bit cam.mov. So now that thing is transcribed. So now it doesn't have to do it again. But the problem is, if that source clip, like this one here, this second half cam, this is quite a long clip. If I'm only using like 10 seconds of it on my timeline, I don't want to go and transcribe like a 1-hour podcast. So that's when the compound clips come in. And you can choose to either do a sections only or a full track. So I'll do sections only, transcribe that, turns it into a compound clip, transcribes it, word for word animated subtitles. And because this is a text plus, you can do all the other stuff with it. So I'll come back to that in a sec. We can change it to be right on words. We can turn it to all caps. And then we can change the words per sub. So how many words per line. We can change the timing. We can change the gap length. Someone just asked about this. So let's put this back up. So you can see here it says 1080p. Timeline is its own subtitle. That's because the gap I leave naturally between the words timeline and when is a certain length, right? And in the gap length, I can change that. So if I only want the gaps to be a gap, to be a line break, I can change this, increase this. So now any gaps that are less than 1 second aren't line breaks, so now it changes. If I want them more line breaks, I can bring this down. And then we can come and we can change all of the fonts. I don't know. Bebes. I always go for Bebes. Bebes. And this is all wrapped text. So we can wrap this, put this where we want. And text plus, so we can come in, change all of this, change the transforms, change the shading, put a drop shadow on there, background, and style. So style is your word for word animations. Let's reset the size of this. Make it a bit bigger. So we can see what we're doing. So our spoken word, we can make it bigger. I've added this new preview mode. So at the minute it updates loads of keyframes in the background, it can be a bit slow. If you change it to preview, all of this becomes way more responsive. So we can up the sizing, up the tracking of the spoken word. There you go. Slightly, let's reduce it. Change the pop-outiness, change the angle, change the color, change the border. Add a bit of softness, add a bit of wobble, and there you go. Hit live to kind of run that out to everything.
But now we know that looking at this sort of thing, hopefully they give us the ability to work the other way, so that my
it's neat, right?
The timeline resolution. So if you've got 4K clip on a 1080p timeline, when you zoom in,
now we've got our things, and we've got a highlight. So this was a request. Well, I think someone requested this. Can't remember. Or someone mentioned it would be cool if you could. So you come in here and you go zooming. I want zooming to be red, and I also want the word really to be red. So you just type, it's comma separated. So you type them in and then you apply. So everything's blue. Let's go back a few frames. Zooming is red.
zooming it into 1080p, not 4K, which is really annoying. This is
And really was red. I want more controls on this. I want to be able to tweak this so you could do more stuff, change the fonts, change the styles, change whatever. But the minute you've just got, all you can do is red. Well, you can do whatever color you like.
annoying.
And there you go. Someone says, Marto, let me put my face back on. But if you already have the studio version, isn't it kind of redundant? So this only works on the studio version. So you need the studio version. So the reason I made this is because people, we'll see in the comments, some people will agree, some people will disagree. The subtitles in the studio version are really good. They are. And if you're doing a long timeline and you just want sort of plain subtitles, don't buy this. Like, don't buy, this is not what it's designed for. If anything, it doesn't work for that well at all. You just use the built-in ones. But lots of people I speak to that do kind of punchy social media stuff, and whether you love it or whether you hate it, I've spoken to a bunch of people that have studio, they render out their video and then they put their video through CapCut purely for the captions. They run their video out of Resolve into CapCut to generate the punchy sort of subtitles that they want in a fancier style, because the styles within Resolve are a little bit limited, which is why I was like, okay, can we build this as text plus, and then you can do what you like with it. And that's why it exists. Now, they don't like being too long, is the main thing, because we're keyframing so many things. So you have to keep them short. So there's some caveats. Having all of these compound clips, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's the only way to be able to shrink them down so you're not just kind of transcribing the entire thing. So, yeah. That's it in a nutshell. There's a free version. So, because again, I don't want people to buy this without trying the free version, there's a completely free version. It doesn't do the word for word, but the free version is essentially this one. It's a single line version, which just gives you the single lines. You still get a bunch of the same controls. You can do all caps. You can do words per sub. You can change all the fonts because it's just a text plus. You can do kind of a bunch of the stuff with it. Now, I also made a double line version. Let me start with a preset because they immediately look fancy, because I wanted to be able to combine different fonts. So this is built on a multi-text. So you get two lines. And you can have them independently styled. So you've got independent words per sub, how many words on the top line, how many words on the bottom line. You can have them alternating or just all showing up at once. And if we go to text, we can change like the text of the bottom one. Oh yeah, that doesn't look great, but let's go with that. And then change the color to like a blue. And we can go put shading on. Let's put shading on this one. We'll make this one I don't know, white shading with a black outline. I don't know what I'm doing. I make the tools. I don't make fancy things, right? And there you go. So again, you can customize these as you like. Every single one of these has got a saver in. Sometimes the saver crashes when you run it from the edit page. It's better from the Fusion page. But let's call this, I'm looking for names, the Wampus, Pompous. I don't know. And now within MagicSubtitles, we've got user subtitles, we've got Wampus Pompous. I might have to make Wampus Pompous as an actual, I might have to make it and include it just for fun. And there you go. And someone's just said, can I change just one word? Yeah, so you can change the spelling as well. So one of the big things which came back after the version 1, so I released the version 1 quietly on a live stream because I was like, let's see if people like it and give me feedback. And again, there was a free version, so I wanted to make sure people tried the free version before they bought the studio version and whatever else, the paid version, the pro version, not studio. And yeah, and people gave me loads of feedback. One of them was obviously that ability to do the compound, and then the other one was spelling. So fixing spellings. So let me show you that real quick. Let's grab a different one. Which one do I like? I really like Expander. Make it a bit bigger. Oh, wow, I like this one. Oh, all the fonts are included, by the way. Because when I was making presets, I was like, there's no point making a preset with a cool font and then you download it and don't have the font. So they're all included within the package. They're all Google fonts, so they're all free and I can distribute them. So I've just included them in the box. But this one has this cool sort of expanding animation. Bloop, 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 bloop. And what was I going to show you? Why am I here? What am I doing? Oh yeah, spelling. So there's two different ways to do the spellings. So you can either jump into the transcription of the thing you've transcribed, either the source material, or in my case, it's this magic compound. So if we jump to the magic compound, that's a handy trick, by the way, Alt and F. Select it on your timeline, Alt and F, or Option and F. Right click. Someone just said, is the free version updated to 1.1? It is indeed. We go AI tools, audio transcription, transcribe. Here's the transcription for that compound clip. Let's say useful was spelt wrong. We find it, we right click, and we change this to be, I don't know, something else. And then we update and we close. And now anytime we run any of these against that compound clip, because we've changed it at the source, I can't remember where that word was. There you go, something. So it's changed in the source. It's changed in the transcription itself. But people were like, well, that's great, but it's a little bit annoying. Because sometimes you just go, there's a tiny spelling mistake. I just want to fix it really quick. I don't want to have to jump into the transcriptions. So I went back to the drawing board again, and this 1.1 has got this fix mistakes, which really hard. It's got really tricky to figure this out. It took me quite a while. Me and ChatGPT had quite many conversations over this, but we did get there eventually. And so we've got next and previous, so you can jump between all the lines. This is a terrible example because Right on Words is on. There you go. So you can jump between all the subtitle lines really quickly, or you can just use your playhead. It looks weird because, yeah. Anyway. So we go here and say, right, resolution's wrong. This is now in the box. So we change resolution to Wampus, and then we apply, and it just changes it. So you can come through and just make all these changes. Let's say confusing is dark rock. I'm just picking on people within the comments. So now that says that sounds dark rock. That will do something weird because I've added a word, but there you go, kind of worked. So there you go. Now that's kind of so that's a temporary fix. So if you think of the transcription as being like a permanent fix, we've changed the actual transcription. We've told DaVinci Resolve, you transcribed that wrong. The actual word is this. So that's when you do it in the transcription. So the transcription is more of a permanent fix. When you've actually run the transcription and you're in the inspector, this is kind of like a temporary fix. So what we've done here is you run the transcription, we grab that transcription, we store it as a cache, and it's the cache which is actually feeding the title, the magic subtitle, on the timeline. So when you come and change this, we're just changing it in the cache in the back end. Which is super quick, super handy. It means you can run this off and it will just work instantly. But if I was to move this, obviously everything will now be completely out of sync, so I have to retranscribe it. And now we're back to the actual spelling from the transcription. So any changes we made in this box have now been wiped because we're now back to the original transcription. Does that make sense? Also, let me get you some links. Here's my face. There's the free version. Even if you think you like the paid version or you like the idea of it, don't buy it. Not yet. Like, if you like it, come back and buy it. But don't just outright buy the paid version, because use the free version. And then if you like it and you want more stuff, then consider buying the paid version. Which, weirdly, I haven't linked to. Let's check that's right. That's not right, is it? Yeah, there you go. And then there's the paid version. There's still things I'd like to fix. My least favourite thing is the compound clips. It fundamentally works, and I don't hate it. I just think there'd be a better way, because you end up with compound clips on your timeline when you kind of don't need them to be there. And weirdly, there's no API call to revert a compound back to its original. You can do it yourself, just be decompose in place, but you can't do it via the API, which is weird. And you also obviously end up with these compound clips in your media pool, so it feels messy, and it feels like I'm damaging your timeline, kind of. But you don't need to do them. You can just run this no compound thing. But if you turn it back to a regular stuff before you export, because the words are all cached within a Magic Subtitle, it will just continue to work. And hang on a minute. Let me show you this, because I did grab this. I did some testing on this. This is 11-minute conversation in slow Polish. Super easy Polish. Do we have any Polish people in the comment section? You're not good at selling things, are you? No, I'm terrible. Unanimously. Like, it's kind of yeah. No. Yeah, if anyone Polish, let me know. But this is a Polish one. Let's do. What one haven't I shown you yet? Torchlight. No, that's a terrible example. It's black text. Wanted. I've got an 18 one as well. Dun, 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 dun. Let's whatever. Oh no, hang on. You need to go and make sure for certain languages you go to subtitles and transcriptions. Make sure you've got the enable extended language support, because I don't think Polish is in it by default. Oh, it is. Oh no, it's because I've ticked the box. Save that. Transcribe this whole thing, which shouldn't take too long actually. Why not? This computer's pretty quick. All hail NVIDIA GPUs. And there you go. Let's increase this so we get more words, and let's get more words per sub.
Opowiadaj, jak było we Włoszech?
I assume that's right. The I am Polish in the chat, Mr. Nicky. Yeah.
Byliśmy w Pompejach i popłynęliśmy na Capri.
It's not the easiest font to read, is it?
Trudno powiedzieć, że zwiedza się plażę, ale udało nam się poleżeć na plaży w...
I mean, in my uneducated opinion, it looks right.
Wyobrażam. Czyli było ciepło.
Było ciepło i było fantastycznie. A ty byłeś kiedyś we Włoszech?
I also don't know what that conversation's about. I probably should have checked. I apologize if that's inappropriate. Yay, yes, it is in Polish. And the words were correct. That was the main thing. Is there a version that can be used on the iPad? No. I haven't checked anyway, because basically we're running scripts in the background, and I don't think you can run scripts on the iPad version. I don't believe it's possible. I'll double check, but I don't believe it is possible. Oh yeah, someone said if I have two speakers, can I do it on both tracks? Yeah, this is a cool thing. Let me just set this up. It's not going to be actually two people. I'll fake it. Dum da dum dum, dum dum dum.
Create a subclip.
Dum da dum dum, dum da dum dum. The computer's struggling a little bit running the stream. So we've got two me's here. Let's reposition them so it makes more sense. It's a bit easier to distinguish. There you go. Kind of like a fake podcast sort of setup thing. And let's just go back to some static ones. We'll put borders on here. And this is kind of cool, actually. Again, you don't want these to be too long because you wouldn't want to do this over an hour's podcast. It'd just get a bit chuggy. And this video, hang on, let me fix this. Where's my clips gone? One of these, I think, has got some deflicker on it, which is causing lots of issues. There you go. So there's two people talking, and I am singing the 18 theme. Let's get the 18 one. So we've got this thing here, and we choose the track. So let's go with track number 1, and we'll turn it to a compound because it's just a bit easier. So we're going to compound this audio for speaker number 1, which is left cam. So then we can go and put this over on the left. Reduce the text box. We'll reduce the sizing a bit. I'm whipping through this quick. Something like that. Need to reset my main text. Too many words. Let's knock this down. There you go. And then we can copy this up. And this one we're going to go with track number 2. Transcribe. And then let's make the text a bit blue. And then let's put this over on the right hand side. I don't say a word there, but now I'm here. And now we've got 2. And our word for word. So you've got 2 now. One's different colours. They're completely independent. So you can come and you can change the font of this one. Let's make this one Bebes, and this one, we'll keep this one as ATME, and we can still come in and do like a highlight. So on my right hand side one, I want Atmos. Why have I chose the longest word in the world? Atmospheric controls now they're red, and on the other one I could do alternatives, and now they all run together, and there you go.
On the timeline, it will create a subsplit timeline. Now, the easiest way to show you the benefit of this.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, that works on the free version as well. So let me actually show you the free version. Hey, Camera Tim's in here. Hey, Rectangle Tim, how you doing? Why are we calling you Rectangle Tim? I don't know, but someone said Rectangle Tim, so I'm jumping on board. Alex pities the fool. I do. I agree. Let me download. I don't need to download it. I've got it installed. I shall check out your latest video, Camera Tim. Oh, are you Clippy? That Clippy, I see. Hello, Alexis. How you doing? Right, where's the free version gone? Magic things, magic things, magic things, magic things, magic things. Hey, it looks like you're writing a letter. Right, free version. Because I know everyone loves the free version. Where's my chat gone? Hey, it looks like you want some animated subtitles. Do you remember that? Do you remember that video of a guy beating up a big Clippy because he keeps asking him if he's writing a letter? It was one of like the first meme videos I remember. That was really funny. So yeah, free version. Let me show you the free version. So you still need to be on DaVinci Resolve Studio 20, at least 20, and it has to be Studio because we're using the built-in transcriptions. But there is a free version, and as mentioned for anyone that's new, the free version is there because I want you to test it. I never want you to pay any money without testing something first. I'm a one-man band. Some things are great and some things I might miss. My support is a bit slow compared to others because just one guy trying to make videos and trying to make a living making other things. I want to make a free version for you to try. So, in a nutshell, once you've downloaded it, though, you install the DRFX, and it is only one of them. You get this Magic Subtitle. Drop it on here, and there are certain things missing, but the general gist is there. So you've got your tracks. You pick your track. You've got your compound clips. No compound sections only. Full track. So let's do sections only. Transcribe. It's just going to turn this into a compound clip and then transcribe it. And now we've got a single line like so. It's a text plus, so we can make this all caps and we can change this to Bebes and we can change the size, we can change the color. And off you go. You've got the gap length, you've got the offset, you've got your words per sub, and you can go into shading and we can turn on like a red outline and a black shadow. And if you want this to almost be like, not word for word because that's not built into the free version, but you can kind of get it at that popular style of just knocking words per sub down to 1.
Subclips are really handy. Subclips allow you to kind of create a section of a clip as a brand new.
So then it is kind of word for word, but kind of not. It's a very different style. But you don't get the fixed spelling because that was a massive thing, and I'm going to have to be really carefully update that. So that's only in the paid version. But if you need to fix any spellings, you do have the compound clip, so then you just need to find the compound clip and you fix any spellings within the transcription. There's a little search and off you go. And that free version's there for everyone right now and it's free forever, so have a play with it. Do what you want to do with it. Within reason. I shall dig it out for you, Tim, and send it over. Because it's a classic. Alex, maybe you've prepared a tutorial on how to use tracking in DaVinci. If not, could you do one? Yeah, I did. Have I done tracking? I don't think I've done tracking for a long time, actually. They have updated a bunch of tracking stuff, so I'll do a new one. Everyone always asks, where's MagicSubtitles? Never how's MagicSubtitles. I agree. Poor subtitles. I also bought Studio for my iPad, but don't use it because they won't update it. It should be updated. They do. They can't release the beta to the iPad version. It's an Apple thing, apparently. I don't know. But I think 20.1 should be on the iPad. I haven't looked, actually. Maybe I'm wrong. Can I split every word and then just place the words like I want? Technically, yeah. Once you've transcribed it. Once it's transcribed like this, it's just keyframes. So you can do what you like with it. So you could, move these around and they're overlapping. And, do stuff. I have tested, well, I haven't really tested. I've thrown the idea around of having a button which just goes through and cuts at every subtitle. You can't cut in the API. What you'd have to do is shrink it and replicate it. But from a user's point of view, have it cut at every subtitle so then you get the individual chunks rather than one big long one. So that's something I could do. When I create plugin, there are so many errors. What sort of errors are you getting? And what sort of plugins? Tracking's tricky. Tracking works brilliantly on the right footage, and then you use some slightly iffy footage, and it's all over the place. So it's hard to make a video on, I've always found. Temba? Miela. I apologize, I've pronounced that really badly. Awesome plugin, great work. Thank you very much. Are you able to make it detect subtitles from music? So yeah, technically it will work. You'll just need to do a little bit of what you'll need to do, hang on, talk amongst yourselves, keep yourselves amused. Need to find some music. I've got music somewhere. Find music with words. Most of my music doesn't have words. Hang on a minute. Audio to the rescue. Don't forget, if you want audio, there's a link somewhere. Words. Do you have words? Nope. Words.
Yeah, that's fire. And then we're gonna go something like, I got no cap. Get the message, I'm the president, you should know that.
That words. Download that. You should know that. Catchy already. I haven't tested this, so we're doing this live. But in theory, you have to combine a few techniques. Where's that song gone? But a really nice thing, actually. So a lot of my stuff, actually not even a lot. Everything I've made up until this one has been available on the studio version and the free version. So like Magic Animate, Magic Zoom. I say everything. I've only made 2. I've made smaller bits. So I have to be really picky with what I use. I'm really liking Magic Subtitle because everyone has to be on studio anyway, which is really nice. So I can just tell you things without saying, oh, I'm sorry, it's on the free version, not the paid version, whatever. Anyway. So here's our music. I don't know how loud this is. Knock this up a bit. And I haven't tested this. Let's just make a shorter section. It's not that long anyway, but we'll make it shorter. We're only using the free one, but that doesn't matter. So I'd imagine, like you say, this is just going to say music, right? Have a go. I mean, that's doing a pretty good job, actually. But if it wasn't doing a good job, let's try and make it do worse of a job. because, again, you're on studio, what you could do is just open up the music remixer, do voice only, and then run the transcription, doing a compound clip. So then it's not looking at the source, it's looking at whatever's on the timeline, which technically means it will have that audio mixer applied. And now we'll probably get really clean ones.
Then we gonna go something like, I got no cap. Get the message, I'm the president, you should know that. Take no L's, but I might just let you hold that. Made it up, I promise I will never go back. You should know.
And then we can come in and turn off the... I need to turn this back as it was. Turn off the mixer. Obviously, if I had some slightly fancier ones, not ones in the free version, that would be doing word for word as well. Hey, so it works. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can use any of them. Reckless, they should all work. Yeah, I was speaking to someone actually, and they were like, you should do the little ball that bounces from word to word like old school karaoke machines. And part of me was like, no. And then part of me was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, we should. Drop shadow, yeah, these are standard text plus, so drop shadows exist in the same place they usually would. Let me switch back to the bigger version because I've just got more to show you. Hang on, I've got to catch up. Gotta catch up. I gotta get to this. I'm not buying if it has bouncing ball. Oh, damn. Hang on a minute. So Chris has said, can you change the color of the highlight in highlight slide? Let me have a look and remember. Let me have a look and remember. Whoa, my computer's having a moment. Let me just restart Resolve a sec. Hey, Pug Tom. How you doing, Tom? Long time. I hope you're doing well, mate. Will the bouncing ball be in the free, or it'll be a paid upgrade, the bouncing ball? £100. Just slap a big price tag at it. Bow. It might be laggy because it's been telling me I shouldn't have made it 4K for ages. Yep, you got it. Understar. Yeah, is the stream better now? Woo 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 woo. Yeah, I think it was because I was in Resolve and I was running some things. Maybe a bunch of the doing too many Magic subs and installing versions, and yeah, it's. Whew, no, it's had a moment, but yeah, let me show that so people can see it. Chris was asking about this version called Highlight Slide. So let's just compound that.
Pretty much covers most
Don't need that music.
of the things I wanted to cover.
So you've got this little slidey effect. And because that's animated, because it's moving, then generally speaking, it'll be under style. So if we go to style, we've got the color here. And we can just change this to be whatever we want. I built a thing that I keep forgetting to enable. Preview, so you can actually see it a bit better. Make this, let's go with like a hot pink. And we'll make the color of the font white. That was already white. Make it black. So that's just the color of the spoken word, and now we've got this version. I haven't shown you this actually. So in these animated versions, as well as some of the presets, so Smooth Mood is a really good example.
Most of the
These are keyframed, which does mean that these are actually some of the hardest to run, especially if they go long, because every single word has like 6 keyframes. So you end up with a lot of keyframes. But if we go to style, we can customize them. So you've got the Y and then the X. So let's go to the start of a word. There you go. It's kind of up there. Let's go preview. If I want, I can get the start of the word to start really high, and then it's going to move really fast to this middle, and then it's end on 0. So now every word comes so much higher. And then we've got the X, the left and right. So if we wanted it to also do a little bit of... there you go. Now it's coming from an angle. Let's go a different angle. Now they're going to slide in, do like a weird thing. Now these ones have also got a little bit of dissolve on them, so maybe we want more dissolve. And we want to change the color. And we've tweaked it, we've previewed it, we hit live, and it replicates across the whole lot. And now we've got a totally new sort of look. There's something else I haven't shown you yet either. So let's just have a quick breather, and I'll show you the very last thing, which is in this version. Mace Windu says, speaking on resolution, what monitors you rocking, MrAlexTech? This one. The PA32 UCDM. It's really good. It's good. It's actually really good. It's easily the best monitor I've ever used. It's one of those weird monitors where to regular people, it's expensive. Like, it's an expensive monitor, but it's also really good. But then when you speak to like colorists, it's a bargain. It's like an entry-level monitor. It's about $1,500, I think it is, $1,500, which to me, I'm like, it's expensive. But then colorists are used to spending 10 grand on a monitor. So it's one of those really weird monitors that's hard to talk about, because you're like, I'm like, it's expensive, and then everyone else is like, it's cheap, but it's expensive, but it's cheap. So, but it's really good. It's really, really good. Quantum dot OLED, 4K, 240 hertz, really color accurate, or at least as color accurate as someone like me needs it to be. So it's really good. Highly recommend. You've just pre-ordered it. It's very, very, very good. Oh, thank you, Tom. I don't know what you've just sent me, but you've sent me something. Thank you. Oh, what monitor have you got? Cameron Tim. Read it out and I'll Google it. Hello, Frank. How you doing? Don't know this Sony BVM HX310. I know the Sony BVM range. I don't know that model specifically, but no. This giant thing, like, yeah. Oh, 6 or 7 of them. Where are you sending me? Where are you sending it to me? What graphics cards are you currently using? I'm on a 4070 in this rig, in this machine. True Blue Travelers. What do you actually do for a living, Alex? This. Weirdly, this is it. This is my living. Who knew? Who knew? Yeah, I used to work in IT. I used to be like an IT guy for schools, and now I do this for a living. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy, really. I don't think I've got Discord installed. No. Back to work after 6 months holiday. 6 months? Damn, Frank. While we're all still here, let me show you the other thing that I included in this before you all get too bored. Are the subs for sale? Yeah, they're up. They're up on the website. They're ready to go. Ready to go. So, one of the other things I've included in this, what's the best example for this? Probably one of these big chunky ones.
Cover. Of course, there are still things I haven't talked about.
It's a bit big.
They've changed smart reframe.
That looks a bit better, doesn't it?
So you now have some additional options.
Oh, layout, additional options, wrap to text. Let's make this a bit wider. They're just big words. I shouldn't have used big words. Let's knock this down. There you go. So one of the other benefits with these being text plus, which was kind of the thing people were mentioning, was I haven't done this with this yet, but you could technically throw transitions on them, so you can get them to transition in for the first time, which you can't do on the subtitle track. So we could do any of these. If you cut them up, you could apply that multiple times if you wanted to. And effects. So I built, they're relatively basic because basically I just took a bunch of the stuff that's available within Fusion but then packaged it so it's a bit easier to use into this thing called Damaged, but I quite like it. No, that's the wrong one, but there's two. You get Damaged, so you can put like film blur, temperature shifts, tint shifts, vignettes, and then you can also put dirt and scratches. So you can just give things like a slightly aged look. You can see it's got like a bit of a vignette going on. You can mess around. Where's my vignettes gone? Filmic. So you can put camera shake, so things shake around. There's a time, which only really works on the animated one, so I'll show you that in a second. But then we've got grain. You want to enable some grain? It's super heavy, and you can't really see it, but it's there. But the other ones are better. So lens distortion. So you can distort these, combine that with an RGB effect, and you get this cool RGB. And then you can also put some glow on it. And let's turn distortion off because a better one is tilt shift. So you can kind of tilt shift them.
Things I wanted to cover. Of course, there are still things I haven't talked about.
Which just gives it a cool look, right? It's not for everything, but if you're trying to do something kind of funky and blend it in with a particularly bokeh-y kind of shot or whatever, you can. You come in and tweak all of these. Let's get rid of, which one of them is too heavy? Let's get rid of both of them. And it just gives it different looks. So they're both available within the full pack as well. And I've got more ideas, so we're just going to keep working on it, basically. Doc Rock, me too. IT, radio and TV, and now full-time creator. Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, what a time we live in when we can actually make a living doing this sort of thing. It's crazy, right? A sexy new hip. Congratulations, Frank. Congratulations on the new hip. Hip hop. Hip hop a rockin'. Dot Rock. This will make social videos look different from everyone else's, and that's worth $29. Thank you, Doc. Yeah, let me know. Please do try it. If you've got any issues, you've got any feedback, you've got any problems, you've got any features you'd like to see, whatever it is, or even if in a week you still like it, you just ping me a message and say, these are good or these are bad. And then, well, more detail would be good. But, you know, let me know whether you like them or whether you'd like to change things or whatever. Because, yeah, feedback's always really appreciated. You get very much in your own bubble making these. And then you think they're good. And then you just stare at them going, have I just wasted hundreds of hours? Like, is this a waste? Is this pointless? So it's always good to get any sort of feedback. So, yeah. That was it, really. I wasn't planning on doing this live stream, but I figured why not, hey? Tomorrow, my whole day is prepping and rehearsing for my ResolveCon, which is on Friday. So I figured, why not do a little live stream, eh? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Chris is loving it. Thanks, Chris. Oh, this I've just had. This is going to be Handsome Tim, isn't it? It is. Cable management, Timothy. How many monitors have you got, Tim? I got widescreen. I got lit. I don't need that one. So someone was asking about Tim's monitors. Here are Tim's monitors. It's got that set up. 2 Samsungs and a ROG. Ooh, I looked at that monitor. Is it good? That's like the gaming version of this UCDM, right? It's got some sort of super wide thing with a Mac Studio. Nice. And then whatever that is. Also, tidy your desk. What's all this? Thank you, Frank. Enjoy dinner. I think mine's. I need to get home before my my wife gets upset with me. Mace Window, Alex, about to come on the chat. If you add any new fonts, can you list them in the change log? Yes, of course I can. That's not a problem at all. If I add anything, I'll try and remember to put it in the log. I sometimes forget. Win always, great stream, Alex. Always on the lookout for new videos. Thank you. I'll get back to making videos a bit more frequently. So thank you very much. Camera Tim. Yeah, I know it's bad. That's an old photo. I cannot do the curves. I like a curved monitor. I used to always use the curved one. So yeah, I was tempted to pick up a curved monitor from my other desk. Luminance blending grain to resolve vectors takes off the Australian sale ad look. Okay, I'll have a play with that. Luminance blending grain. Grain's really heavy in resolve, but I'll play with it a bit more, see what we can do. 8 is too many monitors, Tim. I've got 3, I think. What about selling your tools on other platforms like Envato and Video Hive? Maybe. I don't know. I think they work on I think it's a revenue split on Envato, isn't it? Video Hive's a bit different. But I also like controlling it all myself. To be honest, like I build these things, I promote them myself through my YouTube, and then I keep trying, do my best to sometimes attempt to keep on top of the website. So it's kind of them. It's quite nice to own it all, and then there's no pressure. It's all just my thing. Hey, AA Photography, how you doing? Great to see you. Great to see you too. I am doing very well, thank you. I hope you are as well. I don't have anything else to show now. I've done it all. Subharmonic City. In my switch from Final Cut to Resolve, your videos have been a saviour. Amazing. That's really cool. Thank you very much. I need to make some more basic videos because a lot of my old intro, simple videos I started doing when I first started this they're all a bit out of date now. So I need to go back and do a bunch more videos, really, going through some of the core features within Resolve. So that's on the list of things to do. Can you do a mix snap captions word for word? What does that mean? Sorry, Moin. Side note, obviously, snap captions, someone commented about snap captions. Snap captions is still a really great option. If you want like a full timeline of custom, like a full long timeline, they make the most sense. Mine don't make sense for like a 20-minute timeline. These are for simple, small, punchy, you want to make them look jazzy, throw it on the timeline kind of subtitles. So just keep that in mind. Options, baby. Oh, you've just switched as well, eh, Doc? That's cool. Lots of people are still switching, which is great. I mean, it just saves you the cost, doesn't it? Resolve being free is pretty great. Thank you, Mace. Mace Windu's Mace Windu. That's Samuel L. Jackson, isn't it? Isn't it? Mace Windu. Isn't it? I think it is. Not actually him, obviously in Star Wars. Yeah, snap captions, totally different use case. Yeah, they're two entirely different things. It wasn't like I'm coming for these guys. It's like, no, you want to use kind of like individual titles on your timeline over an extended period of time, so you can do these kind of, you make them look however you make them look. Snap captions. If you want to just throw something on in a little section and make it look jazzy with some word for word stuff, MagicSubtitles. Are you coding this in C? No, it's all been done in Lua. Everything's written in, and actually, for those that know, I don't know if everyone knows, I won't bore you too much, but I've never seen anyone doing what I'm doing. Camera Tim will appreciate this. Maybe Wampus if he's still there, and some others. I genuinely think this is, I don't like to big myself up or anything, but I think I've never seen anyone do what I'm doing. And now that I've realised that we can do it, I think it's pretty massive. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right? Every single one of these is running about 3 scripts. So we're running scripts, right? But there's no scripts installed. And you only have to install a DRFX file. But these are using external scripts. So when you transcribe, it runs a script. When you amend these, it runs a script. When you change these, it runs a script. And it's all self-contained. And I don't think, maybe, I mean, to be fair, I don't go looking, but I don't think I've seen anyone else do that. And it was a little bit of fiddling to figure it out. But then when I figured it out, I was like, why has no one ever done this? Because now that I know that, I can build even more tools that do crazier things, because you're not just stuck to what you can do in Fusion. You can just pull the API. So basically anything that anyone can do, you can even build UI elements, which I've tested. So I can have a button on a title which opens a UI element. It's like a custom pop-in box where you do stuff. So one of the updates I'd like to work on in the future, which I've tested in theory, is this, fix mistakes. So I'm going to have a little button here, which you click on, and then you get a full pop-out window with not just line for line, you get the full transcript. So then you can go through and make any amendments in one big window, hit apply, it rewrites all of the tokens, so then you're good. And I have a version where you hit a button here and you get a pop-out window. So there you go. Hold up, the script is self-contained in the DR. Oh, let that be Italian, wouldn't it, Tim? Teehee. DM me, Tim, and I'll tell you all about it, or we'll jump on a live stream or something at some point. Not a live stream. Cool. It's a really interesting technique, and again, never seen anyone do it, so there you go. Using VS. Now, everything is written in Lua. So it's a combination of What was I going to say? It's a combination of basically like Fusion Lua and then API stuff. The real question is, what's up Alex's sleeve for the next release? OnlyFans. No, I'm checking. I started working on something I can tell you. I started working on a smart reframe for the free version of DaVinci Resolve, which was actually really cool. It's not AI based, it's clicky based, but it's really funky. We just need to... I need Blackmagic to change something to make it more viable, really. But that's something really cool. And then I started working on a Magic keyframe, which is something else really cool. So there you go. Asher Rowland is using Lua as well. I don't know. I've spoken to Asher in the past. He seems like a good person. So I could reach out to him and have a chat. But I don't know. Alex, will you be at the next photography show? Yeah, that's next year, isn't it now, I think? April? It's in Birmingham. So yeah, I'll be there. Like Fight Club, we don't talk about it. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, you can write it in Lua, but in Python, but Lua's the best, I think. Ash is the dev behind Snap Captions. I didn't know this. Yeah, speaks to the Blackmagic crew. I shall prod them again. I have prodded them about the issue a few times, but they're ignoring me. Do you want to? Is anyone still here? Well, you guys obviously, but do you want to? Oh, I don't know if I can do it. Hang on a minute. I'm talking out loud now. Oh, does this still work? Yeah, this still works. I'll give you some secrets. I shouldn't give you secrets, but I'm going to give you secrets. I've got to remember how it works now. I was halfway through building a thing and then got completely sidetracked with subtitles. So now I can't even remember how the thing I built works or even where it is. Is it installed? I don't know. Oh, yeah, it is. Let's test it. Yeah. Does that still work? No. No, it's broke. Oh, no. Yeah, it's working. Why is that not showing up? Yeah, okay, I can show this. This is not ready. You probably shouldn't be showing this because someone will steal my ideas. But I'm going to show you anyway. There's some questions. I'll come back to them in a sec. So, I forgot the other one. I forgot the clicky one. Right, secret thing. So this is designed for making vertical videos easier. And this is a long way off because I'm waiting for Blackmagic to change something, but I'll show you it in theory anyway. So I've called it reframe keyframe, but there's a bunch of different versions of this reframe tool, and I've been playing with custom UI elements, right? So let's say this is your frame. You can preview it. So go, this is what it's going to look like on TikTok or Instagram. My icons are missing, but let's go with TikTok. Let's turn this off. And all you do is you play through and go, all right, at this point, I need to be looking at this bit over here. You can change the frames and stuff. So right now, let's say this point here, we want to be here. But the problem with with the usual stuff is if you click keyframe, you need to do 2 keyframes, right? You need to do the before and the where you are now. So I've built this in so it does both. And it animates across. And now at this point here, we want to be looking at the preview window, keyframe. And then over here, we want to be looking at the inspector, keyframe. And then over here, we want to be looking at the thingy, keyframe. And then if we preview it, we're looking at that bit, and then it whips over to that bit.
Right, so I found something really useful.
Whoa, I'm talking loud.
I don't actually know if this is
And it whips over to that bit. So then when you make this a vertical timeline, ignoring the previews, which have completely broken.
something really useful within DaVinci Resolve. Something if this super useful.
It would, in theory, work. But there's something in the way that it deals with resolution and stuff in the background, which it doesn't quite work as well as it should. But it's all there. I'm just waiting for Blackmagic to change something. But then there's another version. There's a clicky version, which is really cool. I don't know if I've got that installed. No, I don't. But it allows you to do like a smart reframe on the free version. I've been working on all sorts of fun stuff. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you. What was this? What have I missed? Same with the button, control, execute, and unchanges box and the edit controls. Those both lower. They are indeed. The unchange thing is massive. I'm using the unchange quite a lot. Tech reality. I've tried to use ChatGPT to create things. So the way you need to deal with ChatGPT is pretend it doesn't know things, but it's really good at doing things. So it might not necessarily know the answers to the questions, but if you give it something and go, this isn't working, it will be able to figure out what's wrong. Or if you dump it a script and go, this is like, I've dumped my brain into this for a week and this is not the most efficient way to do it at all. Can you fix it? It will fix it and it'll be really good at it. But it's not very good at just saying like, hey, make me this thing. You have to build a basis first. You have to get it, give it something to work off, and then it's unbelievably good. But it's not great at just going, I'll build this thing for you. You have to be able to have that back and forth. I shall keep working on that, Doc, and get it working better. Yeah, it's confidently incompetent. And one of the worst things about ChatGPT or any of the AIs is just how agreeable it is. You have to be mean to it, which makes me feel bad as an English person and generally quite a polite person, because you go, is this right? And it'll go, yeah, even though it's blatantly wrong. ChatGPT is like, yeah, you're cool, man. And I'm like, no. So you have to be like, this is wrong. Figure out why. Yeah. Mesa said, here's the error I received. Fix the code and provide the full code with corrections. Yeah, and that's a way to do it. You write something that breaks, and then it gives you an error message in Resolve, the console, which means nothing to you. So you dump it in ChatGPT, and it goes, I know what that message means. Here's how you fix it. And you go, oh, okay, cool. It is getting better, though, actually. I will admit that. Anyway, this was only meant to be a super short stream. And my wife is probably either hungry or she's had food without me. Can I change the highlight marker in the subtitles in Fusion like a circle instead of the rectangle? You can. You can. It's all in the shapes. This is the wrong project. Did I switch that? Yeah, I did. Depending on which one you're looking at. Let's just go with the highlight one. In shading style, sorry. Roundness. Now, it'll never be quite round. I guess you could do... no, you can't make it a circle unless you then increase the height. No, it doesn't let you do that. Changed. It's all about the changes. Can I go super high? No, so you can't make it round. I don't think that's a... Is that possible anyway? Hang on a minute. So you can do round. Do it on lines. You can do it on words. I mean, if I gave you the ability to do that, you get it rounder, but it starts to look a bit of a mess. No, is the answer. But not because I don't give you the access to it. It's just because you can't in the Text Plus. Some of them, yeah, Chris. Not. I don't want to go quite this in depth. I was going to just try and because I'm on Sunday in the VIP one. I was just going to try and make something relatively basic. Not basic, but and I'll show you sort of what the unchanged does and how to execute a button and how to get the button to do certain things. So it won't be kind of any high-end stuff, but it'll be like some of the basics to build something cool with buttons and with labels and with some other stuff. Millie, would you recommend a Mac Mini M4 for editing? The Mac Minis are really solid for the money. Where they lack is like GPU power and AI stuff, but for like cutting things up on the timeline, the M4s are really good. I have access to a lot of things, and I like a desktop PC. I've got an M4 Mac Mini, which is set up at home, but if I'm going anywhere, I'll use an M4 MacBook. Brilliant. Learning on change is tedious because there's zero documentation. I agree. But there's almost a bug with Unchange, which I really like. And it's made the things I'm doing much easier. And if you want to know what that is, Tim, if you put Unchange on a checkbox and the checkbox has a 1 in it, you don't need to actually make it a 0 for the Unchange to trigger. So you can have a 1 and you make it another 1 and it will run a trigger. So I can use it as a trigger to run scripts. If that makes any sense. So I'm using it, long story short, you can't change a field and run a script in Fusion. They're two things. You can only have an execute do one of the two things. So what I do is I have let's say a button goes and changes a bunch of Fusion stuff. One of the things it changes is it puts a 1 in a checkbox, and on that checkbox, the unchange runs a script. But there's already a 1 in the checkbox. It doesn't care that the value isn't changing. You could prod it. So and as I prod it, it buggers off and runs a script for me. So I can do both. Mace Window says, what's unchange? Super quick tour before I jump off. Anything will do. Any old iron. So when you're making comps, fusion things, macros and stuff, if you jump into the inspector, you can now right click. This is a massive change in DaVinci Resolve, and we can edit controls. So this is how you make custom controls. This is how you make your own buttons. This is how you do stuff within Fusion. And this is how I make a bunch of my tools. This is how I've made Magic Zoom, whatever. They added this thing called unchange. So unchange, I'm never very good at writing these off the top of my head. I always have to have them set aside. But I think it's, if you're running it from a macro, it's set input. I don't think it's set input. I think you could just do equals from here. Don't know. But basically, I'm so used to doing it from Lua, in Lua. In Lua, it's set input bracket, the name, and then the field, but that's different. Anyway, you can write stuff within this field, so whenever size changes, it does something else. So when the user comes in and changes size, I could have it so that it typed hello in here, or whatever. So whenever that field is changed, we run a script, or we make a change somewhere, and it's really neat. So you can use it to make neater and cleaner UIs, because if someone was to select Monsterrat, and on the change you can say if this equals Monsterrat, then only show me certain controls. So you can really start to like clean things up and make things tidy. That's both great and dumb. Yeah, it is. But when you realise that's what it's doing, it's great. But yeah, it's dumb until you realise that. Do you use the text box control to have a better script layout? No, I just dump it in the box or do it directly within the .settings file. Yeah, that's exactly that. It's much more efficient than expressions because it only calculates when a parameter changes. And actually, now that it's there, I could probably go and rewrite a bunch of Magic Zoom. That's a really good point. Now I've said it out loud. Because the problem with Magic Zoom is that it calculates every frame. Could we set that to on change? We need a trigger, and then the trigger would have to calculate everything on every frame. So you're still going to be calculating every frame. Don't know. It's far too late for big things and big thoughts and brain stuff. Doc Rock, do you follow any football? I don't, actually. I've never been a football kind of guy. Weirdly, growing up in England, I know. Played a little bit of rugby back in my youth, but no, never really followed. If anything, Birmingham City, because I'm from the Birmingham City. I've got a few mates that follow it, so I've been to a few games and this, that, and the other, but not a massive football, soccer kind of guy. CJ, I'm working on a script to create a macro that automatically chooses everything you change from any... Oh, nice. So kind of like a big reset button. That makes sense. Hey there, how you doing, Technic? I'm good. There you go. Is that the paid one? That's the paid one, and then... Oh, I should have written these links down. That's the free one. I will do over the weekend. Oh no, it's ResolveCon. Early next week, I'll do a proper video about Magic Animate. But it's really nice at the minute doing these live streams. Not Magic Animate, Magic Subtitle. Keeps it a little bit more condensed. It's not... How can I say this without sounding really like self-congratulatory? When I make videos, it tends to obviously boost the sales, which is amazing. That's what we like. But then it's quite nice having slightly less people using it, because then you get slightly better feedback without all the noise. Douchebag. That's a good idea. Create a text box called script, and then you type out your entire script in there. You just need to checkbox the button that has it. No, I don't do that. That's a good idea, though. Do you know about the notepad hack, right? You really played for Wasps. Wasps was just around the corner. You played against Wasps. Did I play against Wasps? No, that was a different one. But yeah, I know a few lads that played for Wasps. They're literally around the corner. That's what being self-employed is all about. Bumming yourself up in products. Yeah, this is true. You know about the copying and pasting thing, though, Tim? Yeah, I guess you do. Technic, what's the difference between the free version and the paid version? Just try the free version first. And if you like it, the paid version does more. The paid version does like word for word animations and a bunch of other stuff. Do transitions work on Text Plus? They do. So you can drop whatever transitions you like. Let me just show you this really quick because there's a few people that are saying they are working on. I use that copy paste. Yeah, open any plugin. But just for those that don't know, this is a super niche little trick, but it's incredibly useful. Let's keep it simple. Whoopsie daisy. Right, so here's a little thing I'm making. Let's say it's either something within, like I'm just making a composition, or there's someone that's making that's messing with Fusion, macros, or whatever. Let me just open Notepad. All right, so you can just copy these, well, highlight them, hit Control-C on your keyboard, go back into your Notepad, or I use ++, paste. This is the macro. This is Fusion in Word form. So you go, okay, we got text 1, text plus. So if I wanted my text 1 to actually be called the Textinator, right, you just change it in there and then you pop it back in here, and now that's called the Textinator. It's unlinked, so obviously I've got some reference to text 1 in here. There it is. Textinator. Copy, paste. Now it's all linked back up again. And this is a really good way of learning Lua, learning how all of this works. Because you go, well, global in, my width is set to 4K. Cool. Rotation, softness, styled. Font is monster at. What if I wanted my font to be Mistral? You could change it, or you could come in here and go Mistral. Cool. Size. What else is there? Tracking. Another great tip, if you hover your mouse over any of these controls, the actual name appears in the very bottom left-hand corner. So line spacing is line spacing clone. So again, I'm making a macro. I want to adjust the line spacing clone for the user. I can do it in the UI, but I'll come in here and go line spacing clone. I want the value to be 0.8. Copy that, paste it back into here, super quick. Textinator, line spacing, I did it a bit wrong. Line spacing clone, value equals 0.8. I've obviously missed something, but this is what you do. And this is how you can go back and forth, and you can test it really quick, and you can learn what all of these different things do. You can learn about the naming and the text plus and the grouping and the transforms and the inputs and the custom controls and whatever else. It's really fun if you're a nerd. And this is how you learn things. If you're a nerd like me, by the way, I wasn't being insulting. It's like if you're nerdy like I am, this sort of stuff's kind of fun. The other way to do it, if it breaks, so like this one didn't work, right? Because I put line spacing clone. So let's delete it from there, bring it back in the proper way. Line spacing. That's red for some reason. I broke something else. Come in, paste it, line spacing, clone. Oh, in here it's just called line spacing. That's why it didn't work. And there you go. I've learned something new. This is true. Don't turn macro up to group operator. No one wants to know that, Tim. Do you want to know a really cool trick, Tim? This is one of my favorite. This is such a dumb tip. Hang on a minute. No, let's not do that. And this has actually been useful for me, for something I made. I'm going to turn this into, I need 2 of them. Group. That's now a group. Copy that. You're looking at my face. There you go. So this is 2 transforms within a group, right? Now, I've got to remember how you do this first bit. You can, I believe, get rid of that. This might break. Oh, there you go. Now we've got an empty group. You go, what's Dal showing me an empty group for? And then I've got to remember, this is called text edit, I think it is. Oh, it's not text edit. What was it? Ah, text plus. We've got an empty group. There's nothing in it, and it behaves like a text plus. So you get all the controls. Look at this. It's a text plus, but it's nothing. But it's a text plus, but it's nothing. But it's a text plus, but there's nothing. It's an empty box. How is it a text plus? And it actually works with anything. So there you go. Dumb trick, but it's actually really useful. Rising Echoes, how you doing? Oh, I've just noticed that. Doc, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Go home before your wife hates us. This is true. Yeah, what time is it? Yeah, I do need to get going. Don't tell everyone, Tim. I'm going to smash Tim with a bad hammer. No, do. I'm joking. I tell people it. Most people are really cool. So if you've got one of my tools and you want to open it up, yeah, do that. I purposely don't password protect things, and I don't try and make it difficult generally. I've put a little bit more in this Magic Subtitle than I have before. Because of these scripts, this is all, custom stuff that I've written. But generally, any sort of fusion stuff, yeah, open it up and look how it works and try and learn from it. Because that's how I did. You just mess. And it's like, yeah, open it up and dig around and play. There is some updates, Rising Echoes. Depends when you downloaded MagicSubtitles. If you downloaded it like in the next, the previous day or so, you should be up to date. But just hop onto the website and have a look. Version 1.1. Easy way to tell. I just remembered I did a good, useful thing. Any of the versions that you've got, put it on the timeline, go right to the very end. In the inspector, the settings, it says Magic Subtitle version 1.1. If yours doesn't say Magic Subtitle version 1.1, then you're on an old version, re-download the new version. I did a thing. I remembered to do that. Yay. Go me. You usually forget. And actually, it's got to be said, the chap from the comments, terrible with names, scroll up. Tech Reality, I don't know if you're still there. Tech Reality is great at reminding me to do these things. So thank you, sir. There are a lot of great metal bands. There are. Black Sabbath, Birmingham. There you go. Right. With that, I'm going to bid you all farewell and go home. It's nearly 8 o'clock. So thank you all for joining me for this impromptu, random, out of the blue live stream. I hope you all like the look of Magic Subtitles. I'm genuinely quite proud of this one. I'm proud of all of the ones I've made. Magic Animate needs an update. It's a bit old now. I've been promising to update it for ages, and then I keep getting distracted. So I will update it. That's the next thing. But lost my train of thought. But Magic Subtitles, I think it's quite good. I'm going to keep working on it, and hopefully we can make it really cool. So thank you ever so much, all. Don't forget about ResolveCon over the next couple of days. It literally starts like tomorrow evening. Good luck, Tim, if yours is tomorrow. Mine's not till Friday. So tomorrow, we make the presentation. Or we rehearse it at least. So we'll go through all of that stuff. So thank you all very much. I'll see you next time. And thank you again, Doc. See you later, folks. Oh, yours is Friday. I'll see you Friday then, Tim. Bye.